to witness the fact that you take each other as husband and wife. And in each case, Bradley, I'm going to ask you to say the words also. Okay, if you could repeat these words after me. I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Bradley, may not be joined in matrimony to Katherine. I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Katherine, may not be joined in matrimony to Bradley. Now that's part of the legal words, but Bradley and Katherine have their own vows and words to say to each other, and they're going to exchange those now.
Katherine, today I take you as my wife, and with these vows I do promise to live in this same forward and forevermore. I will honour you, stay forever faithful to you, respect you, and cherish you. See the best in you, love you for who you are, and all the little things that make you you. To see the world with you, to laugh with you, and occasionally laugh at you. I will endeavour to make all our dreams come true. To share my feelings, to express my emotions, to show my pain. As I know you will help soothe me, ease me, to compose myself again. Focus on the future, and not carry the weight of the past. To live for today, and strive to make our own relationship last forever. To grow up by your side, as your love and best friend, and fall in love with you over and over again.
Bradley. I'm so proud to become your wife, your biggest fan, your comfort, your home, and many other things that I don't yet know that it's possible for me to be. I'm so excited for our future. I wanted to tell you just how much you mean to me, but my love for you is just too great and complex to be expressed with simple words. And even if it could, there just aren't the right combinations of words to express how deeply my love for you goes. But what I lack now in words, I promise to make up for every moment for the rest of my life. Spending every day showing you just how much I love you, how you give me strength and my life its meaning. You inspire me to be a better person with how unreservedly selfless and loving you can be. You are and will be so much more than just my husband. You are my friend, my lover, the future father of my children, and my soulmate. You truly are my hero. And I promise to laugh with you, cry with you, learn, work and grow with you. But most importantly, I promise that I will love you for who you are, forever.
Very beautiful vows. I'd like you now to sit down. Well, we now come to that very special and more personal moment in the ceremony, where I'm going to ask you to join your lives together and to symbolise this by the giving and receiving of the rings. And I've got Eli and Dan, who have reassured me they have the rings, so if they would like to come forward, please. That's lovely. Thank you, that's great. They do have the rings. Now the wedding ring takes the form of a circle, and as such has no beginning and no end, and therefore represents eternity. So may these rings that you give and receive symbol of your everlasting love and commitment to each other. So if Eli could give, look, where's Eli? That's Eli. If you could take hold of Catherine's ring and give that to Brad. I think we just pull it. And if you could place that on the third ring of your belly button. I usually don't watch at this point. It's firmly on. And it is, while you're still holding Catherine's hand, I know it's hot, sticky, but could you repeat these words? Catherine, I give you this ring as a gift. Wear it and think of me, and know that I love you. And I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Bradley, do take thee, Katherine, as my lawful wedded wife. And now if Dan can give Katherine Bradley's third finger of the left hand. While you're holding Bradley's hand, repeat these words to him as well. Bradley, I give you this ring as a gift.
Bradley, I give you this ring as a gift.
Wear it and think of me,
Wear it and think of me,
and know that I love you.
and know that I love you.
And I call upon
These persons here present
to witness that I, Katherine,
do take thee, Bradley,
as my lawful wedded husband. And while you're still holding your hands, I want you just to cherish this moment and take it with you throughout your marriage. And remember that the hands you're holding are the hands of your best friend, young and strong and full of love for you, that are holding yours on your wedding day, as you promise to love each other today, tomorrow and forever. And these are the hands that will hold you when fear or grief fills your mind. And these are the hands that will countless times wipe the tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow, but of course much more often tears of joy. And these are the hands that will give you strength when you need it. And lastly, these are the hands in the years to come, when aged, will still be reaching for yours, still giving you that same unspoken tenderness with just the slightest touch. I hope for you today is that you will use these hands to build a beautiful marriage and that your dreams do come true. Well, you'll be pleased to hear that you've made your own vows and made the legal declarations as required by law, and you've made your own solemn vows, which are beautiful. I do hope that this day will be a very special day to look back on with much love and happiness. You've got your family with you and your friends, and that's what it's all about. And it really gives me great pleasure to declare you are now lawfully husband and wife. And you may kiss your handsome husband. Ladies and gentlemen, if I just explain to you what's happening, the legal words have been said, but now we need Kat and Brad to sign the actual marriage register with my colleague, Marius. We do not allow photography during the actual signing of the register, but fear not, we'll put a pretend one up. We'll let Adam, the official photographer, take his own photos. And then, of course, if any of you, I guess, paparazzi want to come forward, I'm sure that couple will be pleased to photo the marriage certificate. But I have 3 beautiful flower gold fairies to present the marriage certificate.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very much. Present the certificate to the bride because it is traditionally the property of the bride. Like everything else, it's yours now. So it won't fit in your handbag, no pockets. So Bradley, your first duty as a husband is to look after the certificate. The second one is to never forget the date. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure for me to be here, and it's lovely to see a couple so much in love and also supported so much by family and friends. It's just beautiful. So I will leave you with just words from E.E. Cummings. It's just one line, I think, that says it all. Be of love, a little more careful than of anything. So congratulations to you both. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the bride and groom, the new Mr. and Mrs. Bright. Standing as the bride and groom may take their leave. Thank you.
Freaked out by the... just downwards. That's it.
Oi, Dennis.
Rather just go because
Right?
we're ending up
Yeah,
in front of the house.
Let's all look. We all look. You can see all the way down. You have some sweets. What did you have? Crisps. Red one.
Just a little bit of a trip. So. Yeah, and then that'll give her all time to get us back on stage. Find a little bit of a place to go. Can you tell us what to do? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that'd be lovely. Woo!
It'd be funny if it was just like it. And then there was no when they came back? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Where are they?
Right then. As father of bride, I have the pleasure of making the first speech and paving the way for the star speakers, the groom and the best man. I'd like to welcome every one of you here, as you've all played some part in the lives of Brad and Kate, and are valued because of that. Your presence here is important to them, so I thank you all for making the journey to the darkest depths of northern Devon. It's made their day. You know, if you want to make time fly, have a daughter. It seems not so long ago I was holding a newborn 6.5-pound baby girl with blonde hair, eyes wide open, thinking, oh my God, what do you do with a girl? It was one of my proudest moments. One only has to look at Kate to see the radiance that I hope is a reflection of Heather's and my own contentment. Yeah. You know, Kate thought that she would never find the right man to marry, but she never reckoned on meeting my new son-in-law. In Brad, she found the perfect partner, and I'm delighted he's become a part of our family. Likewise, I welcome his family, Jeff, Sally, Vicky, to our madhouse. The many things I admire about Brad: he's intelligent, he's ambitious. Along with his generosity and determination, it's clear that he appreciates the finer things in life. Well, he married my daughter, didn't he? Oh, yeah. And when it comes to talking about Kate's qualities, where do I start? She's intelligent, generous, hard-working and popular. Well, she's her father's daughter. Over the years, I've seen Kate develop many talents. She's won awards for singing, ballet, spent time as a photographic model, qualified as a hairstylist, and has excelled in her current office management role. I'm sure she's now looking forward to seeing more of the world with Brad by her side. Brad, if Kate is half as good a wife as she is a daughter, then you will leave here with a woman who epitomises honour, respect for both herself and for those she loves. Having been married for most of my life, I'm in a position to offer our newlyweds some timely advice. Give and take. That's the secret of a happy marriage. I've found that anyway. Give and take, they're the key words. The wife gives, and Brad, that's right, you take it. I think Kate may have been a little apprehensive about what I might say during the speech, but fortunately for her, I have a very, very bad memory. In conclusion, I would just like to say, thanks, Brad. She's all yours now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a beautiful, radiant bride, a charming and handsome groom. We wish them health, wealth and happiness for their future life together. Please raise your glasses and join me in a toast to Brad and Kate.
To Brad! Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I'm Eli. I used to be great friends with Brad before this speech. I'm just kidding. Let's give another round of applause to Mr. and Mrs. Rice. I can speak on behalf of everyone here that the ceremony was really special and the day so far has been brilliant. Honey, just close your ears for a moment. Don't the bridesmaids just look wonderful today? Can I have another round of applause for all the bridesmaids? And thank you to all the guests for making the drive like we did, seeing a lot of England. So another round of applause for coming for this special occasion. Kat, you look absolutely beautiful today. And Brad, thanks for shaving. So during the service today, I couldn't help thinking it's funny how history repeats itself. I mean, it was a couple of decades ago when Kat's parents were probably sending their daughter to bed with a dummy. And it's happening all over again. So now it's time for a bit of participation from the bride and groom. So, Kat, if I can ask you to place your hand flat on the table. Any hand you like. And now, Brad, if you could place your hand directly on top of Kat's. Now make the most of this moment. That's the last time you'll ever have the upper hand. And Brad, a message to you. Today should rightly be the happiest day of your life. And it will continue to be a date that you will both cherish and celebrate as each year passes. And the secret to ensuring that you always remember the date as your special anniversary is just try forgetting it once. Anyway, that's enough of me trying to be funny. I'll start the speech properly now. So, my friendship with Brad started at the beginning of secondary school. Although we didn't meet in the classroom like you'd expect because Brad started in the highest set, whereas I was put in the just do your best category and had to gain promotion to eventually catch him up. Ironically, this is the opposite to the football teams we support, but we'll discuss more about that later in the We actually met during Hall Assembly on Tuesdays and Thursdays, where a couple of hundred pupils were told to stand up for 20 minutes and listen to the teacher discuss some deep and meaningful topic. Brad, having been in swimming training for a couple of hours before school each morning, would have his hair spiked up and smell of chlorine. And he would faint routinely and be carried out. Shortly after which, I tended to start to fade and would face plant some backpacks full of football boots and textbooks. All the fainters would be gathered together and carried out to the back, and we had to sit on stools and on a balcony that overseed the rest of the assembly. And this is where Brad's love for VIP tickets began. Once I finally managed to catch Brad up in his fancy top set, we became good friends. He appreciated my love for basketball and microwave lasagnas. Luckily, we've not been left in charge with the menu today. One day in class, I think it was chemistry, Brad turned round and looked at me and said, "I'm going to learn to play the bass guitar." I figured that must be some sort of special guitar and nodded my head and said, "Great." I didn't hear much more about it, but I did seem to notice at the end of each day at school when the school bell rang, Brad would rush off. I would catch the bus because I lived 6 miles away from the school, and I would drive. As the bus went past, I'd see Brad scurrying up the hill home. Every now and then, I would go round to visit, and each time Brad would show more and more musical talent. He had decided that music was his passion, and that's never stopped to this day. Brad's impacted my life for the better in many ways. He put in a good word at the local sports centre, which got me a job as a lifeguard throughout university. He hosted me when I needed to fly over from Denmark to take my driving test. He even paid off my bar bill in the dorms when I was broke without me mentioning it. Those of you that know Brad well will understand how huge that is, as it's not always easy to get Brad to spend extravagantly. After graduating, Brad casually told me he was going to do a master's in music management in Liverpool. Occasionally, I'd hear him tell me he's busy writing an essay or had to drive to Liverpool for a lecture. But overall, he just got on with it. And less than a year later, he just told me he had a master's degree. Deciding to move to London was a big change in his life. Brad, up until then, had been living with his parents. That wasn't a punchline or anything. But he just made the move and just got on with it without making a fuss. And over the last decade in London, he's always been able to make new friends and just be himself. Sometimes that might mean he uses hair straighteners, GHDs, and other times it requires wearing eyeliner. But he's never been afraid to be himself, and I respect him a lot for that. Although I must admit at one point I did become concerned about his fetish for hamsters and the flushing of tropical fish down the toilet. But he wears his heart on his sleeve and gets back up any time he's knocked down. Now, as a manager in the corporate world, he's a true expert in music royalties. So anyone recording any of today's events, please speak to Brad later to discuss fees and rates. When I got married in India, I have to say he won the award for Most Integrated Foreigner. He was all dressed up, hitting sticks together, dancing in the 35-degree heat, and just was a great sport, embracing every part of the new culture. So let me go back to the topic of supporting Norwich. Brad has always been loyal to the Canaries. Regardless of how much they lose, he follows them and cheers them on. No matter how tough it gets, he knows they will once again at some point visit the Premier League. Somebody who demonstrates that level of commitment is ready for marriage. When Brad started to tell me about his girlfriend Kat, I could tell there was something different about this girl. He had a sparkle in his eye whenever he mentioned her, and when I met Kat, I could see how well they fitted together. Finally, I'd found someone that could keep Brad in line and could stand up to any hissy fits. I was especially impressed with the way Brad planned out the proposal in Disneyland Paris. Thanks to help from Vicky and other friends, the proposal was executed flawlessly. And I know, speaking on behalf of everyone here, the video was amazing. Sally, Jeff? Heather, Tim, you guys have raised two wonderful individuals whom we have all come to love. Kat, you're a really caring person and have always been warm and friendly and welcoming. You fit so well together and are clearly meant to be. I'd just like to say thank you to Kat for marrying Brad. I now have a great friend-in-law. On that note, I'd like to make a toast. Wishing you a happy life together. To the bride and groom. And now I'll hand over to Darren for his part.
Okay, before I lay into Brad, which I'm going to do, I would like to just comment on how well Kat has scrubbed up today. On the job, you'll absolutely stunning. Now, if there's anyone here this afternoon who's feeling nervous, apprehensive and queasy at the thought of what lies ahead, it's probably because you've just married Brad Raps. let me introduce myself, I really already has. I'm Darren, best man number 2. Brad actually asked me to be his best man about 6 months ago when he came home north. But I never actually received a formal invitation to the wedding. So I just hope... So I just hope I haven't eaten a meal that was meant for somebody else. In fact, I'm sure it was such a simple oversight. Or more likely, Brad trying to save the cost of a staff. Looking around this packed room, it's surprising how far some people are prepared to travel for a free lunch. It's a good job Brad didn't choose the menu though, otherwise you'd have been very disappointed to have come all this way for a pot noodle. It does sound like I'm calling Brad tight. I am. I'm just going to retell a little story from my stag do that's become a bit legendary in Morecambe, and it's known by many as the steak pants incident. The steak pants incident. So before I tell the story, I'll need to explain that on my stag do, when we went to a restaurant, Phil was there, Johnny was there, my dad was there. When we went to a restaurant, we just used to split the bill between us all. Okay? We just ordered our food and we'd split the bill between us all. On the last night, quite a few went to a nice restaurant, a nice steak restaurant, and quite a few people were ordering the steaks. Brad being Brad though, he decided to order the biggest steak on the menu, the T-bone steak. Typical Brad, with eyes bigger than his belly, he failed to finish it and had the waitress wrap it up in serviettes. So you can see where this is going. The evening followed the usual pattern of a last night, and we all went to bed very merry. Now we all know that Brad can't handle his drink. Okay? 2 gins and slimline tonic. Tonics later, and he's done. So of course Brad was worse for wear in the morning. Not as bad though as when he was on his own stag do. I have to add, where he threw up in a taxi, which I had to pay for. I did. Spent the night covered in sick and drool on the floor of his bathroom with a group of ants doing the conga around his head. That's true. Anyway, Brad missed breakfast. This is going back to the subject. Brad missed breakfast and lunch and rose at some point in the afternoon wrapped in a sheet looking like E.T. He commented that he was feeling a little bit better and that he was a little peckish. He asked me to pass him his pants, so I thought, oh great, he's going to get up, he's going to get dressed, he's going to come down, he's going to have something to eat. Oh no, I passed him his pants and Brad got out last night's rare steak. He peeled the layers of tissue off and he ate it, and I think by this time the steak had gone from sort of a rare to maybe a medium or even a well done. It'd been in his pants all night. So I'd just like to, Brad, I've got something for you here that I know is going to come in useful tomorrow if you're a little bit hungover. Pre-cooked as well. Just how you like it. There you go. What's in it, Brad? Brad is thoughtful and he is generous at heart, so much so that he was willing to take me on his honeymoon to Dublin to watch Garth Brooks, which was going to be Thursday. Obviously it's been cancelled. So when Garth Brooks announced that all the shows had been cancelled, Brad's response was, "Oh well, I'll just take Kat to Dublin instead." Now Brad and I went to different schools, and I've been told that at school his sporting prowess was legendary. In fact, when he left school, he was recognised as having made a major contribution to the school's football first team by sticking to swimming. So how did we meet? Well, Brad, myself and Eli all met at Saltaire Sports Centre, where we worked together there as lifeguards. Brad and I actually had our interview together, and one of our tasks that we had to do was to tow each other 2 lengths of the pool. I must admit though that I was a little bit apprehensive when Brad walked out of the changing rooms wearing his armbands. And his Speedos. To make things worse, the S had fallen off his Speedos. Let's just say it's a good job that we didn't have to practice mouth to mouth, or this wedding could have been very different. So one of our pastimes was learning to play guitar together and forming a band with 3 other members. We were known as the Freezing Brass Monkeys. We rocked. I know what you're thinking, Arctic Monkeys. Just think where we could have been today if we'd have just changed our name that slight little bit, and where we could have been. I remember playing our first and I think only gig at a big student house in Lancaster of one of our bandmates, where they lived, and I think quite a few people came to watch us. When I say quite a few, I mean like 9. I think we both knew that we weren't going to make it as rock stars when our guitarist answered his phone halfway through a song. Hello? Yeah, I'm in a gig at the moment. I can't talk. See ya. Okay, in our time together, Brad and I have been involved in some serious escapades. We've been on the beach at Normandy. We've visited every football stadium in Europe and raced cars through the streets of Miami, culminating in the most hair-raising episode ever when we had to confront Nazi zombies in Germany. As you can probably gather, our time together has been mostly PlayStation based. And from the comfort of my mum's 2-seater sofa, which has still got our arse imprints on it. I wouldn't say that we were obsessed with the PlayStation, but multiple 19-hour sessions, multiple 19-hour sessions did not only gain Marco van Basten 93 goals in a single Master League season, but has also bound us together as best mates for life. So if you're thinking of sneaking off for a quickie later, I'm in room 49. So having met Brad later in life, I realised that I knew very little about his childhood and growing up. So I thought it best to ask around to what some of Brad's friends and family would say about him. Apparently, he was a very ugly baby. So ugly, in fact, that Sally only had morning sickness after he was born. And Brad's grandmother used to knit him full-face balaclava. So as many of you know, Brad moved to London about 7 years ago, and I've realised when writing this speech that I should find out a little bit more about London, Brad. So So I got in touch with some of Brad's current workmates who tell me that his nickname at work is The God. Apparently that's because nobody ever sees him. And if he does do any work, it's usually a bloody miracle. So I'm sure you're all well aware of Brad's ever-growing list of ailments that keep him from work. At first I thought it was just an excuse for a PlayStation day, but Brad assures me when he texts at 10 o'clock in the morning in the school holidays, I'm a teacher, in the school holidays for a game, that he really is too sick to get off the sofa and go to work. I've never really noticed this before he moved, but now when he visits, his medication bag is bigger than his suitcase. So I thought I would bring him a little gift for his honeymoon that might come in useful. We've got Brad's medical bag. Now in this bag, I've put some very useful we've got heartburn, which I'm probably sure he's got right now. Gaviscon. We've got immune defence pills. We've got Vicks Vapor Rub. We've got zinc, formulated for the immune system. And also good for when trying for a date. We've got antihistamine tablets. We've got Benylin. And that's all. We're just missing, I forgot to buy one of his favourites, a nasal spray. Oh, yeah. Which I don't think he's addicted to anymore. So, Brad has not yet got a real life understanding of what married and family life is like, and how time-consuming raising a little child is. Right, Johnny? Yep. I will give you an example. Johnny's got 3. I will give you an example. Brad rang me the other night, elated at the fact that one of our favourite games on the PlayStation, FIFA, has now got an online co-op feature. To which my response was, that's great, we'll be able to play that in 3 years' time when Lois goes to school. So when Brad told me he was getting married, I thought, having been married for 6 years, I thought that I could give him some friendly advice and some words of wisdom that I've learnt along the way, such as, when you are wrong, admit it, and when you are right, keep quiet. A headache means no. And lastly, this one. Marriage is like a deck of cards. To start off with, all you need is 2 hearts and a diamond. But you'll soon wish you had a club and a spade. I know I've ripped Brad this evening, and Brad will tell you that I rip him most of the time. So Johnny, so will Phil. God knows why he's still friends with me. He could have ditched me when he moved, but he always seems to come knocking at the door with his suitcase and his little medical bag. And he's always looking for a place to stay and a control pad for the night. But honestly, Brad is one of the most genuinely caring, considerate and nicest blokes that I've had the privilege of calling a best mate. Okay. It's an honour to be your best man and be part of your special day. So ladies and gentlemen, please will you join me now in toasting a young couple who we wish all the health, wealth and happiness in the world. And I can't think of 2 people who belong more together. Would you please now join me in toasting a happy couple, ladies and gentlemen, to the bride and groom.
Having been best man for both of these guys, for which I did rip them, so I did kind of have that coming. It's going to be a new one for me, for this, because it's going to be hard to stick to the script and just say thank yous. And try not to say anything crass, so do bear with me. I may slip up a couple of times. Also, I've got a lot of people to thank, so try and pace yourselves with the champagne. There's going to be a few cheers every now and then. So, here we go. So, what I'm going to start with, I'm going to get these guys out of the way because they've been amazing. The staff at High Bullen. Yeah. We want to especially thank Wayne, Kay, who's hiding. Come on, Kay. Who put on a fantastic day at the very last minute. If you didn't know, we were planning on getting married outside. As you saw probably before, about 4 o'clock, heavens opened, so we decided to do it in here, and they made it all possible this morning and last night, so thank you very much for everything you've done. So the first thank yous that I'm going to do after them is aimed at my bride's family. If it wasn't for you guys, she would never have turned out as annoying as amazing as she is. Special mentions / shout outs, and feel free to whoop if I mention your name. And they go to the rat race, the bakers,
Whoa!
enthusiastic, and then I'm also going to say Mark. Woo! And Helen. Mum and Dad number 2 for Katherine. And not forgetting Kat's lovely older brother, Paul. He's helped Kat through every aspect of her life, and no doubt in the future. And he's an all-round super guy. Lovely. So, I also forgot to mention the beautiful cake in the corner, if you've all noticed, was made by mum number 2, also with her own hands. It looks beautiful. Thank you very much. Now, over to my side of the family. So, after years of them questioning my sexuality, as you've heard, I did used to use GHDs. And once, only my close family know about this, I did once pull my pants down, shake little Brad Jr. in front of Patrick Swayze, dancing. Yeah, so obviously the questions were going to be raised. Well, for the next week or so, and then they'll probably start questioning again. So I've got a few special mentions. I'm going to start off with my nana. Next one is to my auntie Linda. She's been there for me through lots of tough times, and she's been great. She's always been there, who I can turn to, go and see. She's been amazing, and she's helped both me and my sister move down to London, as we both did, and put us up while we got ourselves settled. So thank you. And then next, I'm going to have to move on to a very special person in my life, which is my sister. As well as being my lifelong arch nemesis, as most sisters are, she's been amazing to me all the way through growing up, and undoubtedly in the future. Looking out for me every step of the way, but also, it's a very, very special day today for her. It's actually her birthday today. So, as it is her birthday, yeah, I hope
you have all got your singing voices ready. Because we're all going to sing a nice big happy birthday. And also, Wayne. Right, are we ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vicky. Happy birthday to you. So actually, keeping with special days, we also actually have a couple of wedding anniversaries. First one, and this is how I will never forget my wedding anniversary, to my sister. Also, it's my best friend's wedding anniversary today, which is Darren and Sarah. Tomorrow is one of the bridesmaids' wedding anniversaries, the first wedding anniversary, Joss and Tori. And then what I'm going to move on to now is the biggest thank you of the day. It has to go to our respective parents. We'd like to thank you for all the help in making this day great. Fantastic. Thank you very much. So, not sticking with tradition, I'd like to thank the dads. To my dad and to my new dad. Like most sons, our fathers are the people we look up to, who we idolise, and both of you have been no different to this. Throughout the upcoming years, we will still turn to you for advice and support. No matter what the future brings, and I speak for most sons here, you will always be our heroes. So, raise your glasses to dads. To dads. I'll announce that. Okay, so there's also one thing before I move on to the mums. It's always a tough thing. It's to do a toast for the people who can't be here. So, we have Heather's mum and dad. We have Tim's dad. And then on my side, I've got my nana and gramps. My pops and my uncle Adrian, who we have supported all day because we want them to be with us, but they couldn't be here. So again, to loved ones. It's going to be quiet now. Right. Okay, so brace yourselves. It's time to thank the mothers. So this is going to be very, very tough. Not because I've not got anything to thank them for, but obviously emotions could well get the better of me. So tissues at the ready. Tissues. Rubbish. So mums, where will we be without you? Sorry. Where would you be without you? You gave us life. You were the first person to embrace us, love us, nurture us. You were the first person to who we ran to when we needed help. And who we called when we shouted those dreaded words, "Mom, I've finished!" You all know what we're talking about, mums. So yeah, we love you both very, very much. And cannot thank you enough for everything that you've done for us in our lives. Wayne, Leanne, I'd like you all to raise a glass. And again, to moms. To moms. To moms. So we have a couple of things for you. I think it's got a bit too quiet. Let's have a round of applause. Now, and so on. The emotional part for me, probably. People have helped out during the day. So I'd like to thank, firstly, because I'm a musical man, the musicians. Hannah. For doing the music today, and everybody involved, Joe and Annie for your speeches, for the readings, thank you very much, and to all my groomsmen and all the bridesmaids as well. So, thank you very much. So, on to the groomsmen, bridesmaids. Thank you for being there on our big day, and not just today, but throughout the time that we've known you. So, Phil, Johnny, I'm going to try and get hold of the CCTV for tomorrow. If you want to hear a nice story, go and speak to the High Bullen staff about the escapades last night. It was good fun, including Fraser at 4 o'clock in the morning. There may have been a golf buggy gone missing. Find the CCTV footage. But yes, Johnny, Phil, thank you very much. We also want to thank Alex and Tori. Thank you very much also. So it's a great big thank you. Now we also have a little thank you for our little helpers on the day. I don't know if you've noticed them running around with little fairy wings, or if you've seen a little chimney sweep. But we have a couple of gifts for you. So if you'd like to come on up, we can give you the gifts. Let's have a round of applause for our
Henry.
That's my side of the family, obviously.
Sorry.
It's alright, he's ripping into it, that's a good start. So, best men. Where would I be without you guys? You've helped me make the man that I am today. With constant bullying, teasing, I am now the shy, retiring, emotionally drained, slightly mental person, fellow standing before you. Oh yeah. But in all serious love, you've been great to me, both of you. And you've always been there for me when I've been in real trouble. Or just need someone to talk to, or watch football with, or play PlayStation with. Thanks very much, guys, and you know I will always be there for you. Okay. And there's another round of applause. There's only two more people. You don't get it. Yeah. So, one of the last ones is, by no means least, Cat's Maid of Honour. She's Sarah. She's my newfound gaming teasing buddy. I hope you know how important you are to Kat. I know that she's been through some tough times in the past, and you've been right by her side for all of it, no matter how much of a pain in the arse she's been. She really is blessed to have a friend like you, and now I'm blessed too, because you've always been there for the woman I love, and you will always be an important part of our lives. Thank you. Sarah. Right. Sorry, I'm going. Okay. On to my love, my life, my wife. Oh yeah. Now, from our very first kiss, I knew that this woman would be someone special to me. I didn't realise how special she would become. Kat, you've stood by me through a lot of tough times since we've been together, and you made me the happiest man alive when you accepted my proposal a few months ago. I told you as soon as you got to me at the end of the aisle, but I want everybody to know how beautiful you look today. I have no doubt in my mind that we will have a wonderful future together, because every day you make me smile, and every day I love you that little bit more. As Kat will tell you, most of the decisions I make are wrong. But in marrying Kat, I know that I've made the right decision. So, I love you. To Mrs. Rice. Thank you very much for listening. That's it.
You always tell me how much you love my voice, and that I don't ever sing except for in the shower. And although you probably can't see how much I'm shaking, I'm going to do this anyway.
To